Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne, and this is MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. And welcome to your daily Sun Sign Love Connection readings. Today we are on the featured sign of Sagittarius. Beautiful, fiery element of Sagittarius, very optimistic, very much about truth and freedom and adventure and travel and knowledge. And I love the influence. And I know, and you probably know this, Sagittarius, and if you don't, I'm going to explain it to you the best I can in simple words. We had the full moon lunar eclipse on May 26th in your sign of Sagittarius. Now, the full moons are always generally about culmination and about putting a spotlight on areas of our life that we really need to see, maybe fix, maybe expand in some way. And that's exactly what this eclipse is doing for all of us, okay? And this will continue to help us and to guide us, and the energies will be with us for a good 6 months or longer. So I would imagine you being the sign that the lunar eclipse was in, you're probably really feeling that energy and that push. And I don't know what it is for you specifically, but all of the signs, including today's beautiful new moon in Gemini eclipse, which I'm going to light this beautiful new moon intentions candle for you, as I do every month, but especially for the even stronger influences that this particular new moon has for all of us, to invoke in us the desires to have those new beginnings, start those new ideas, break out of our shell, break out of the normal, things that we've been doing. There's this real drive and real passion for that, especially after last year when we didn't have an opportunity to do much of anything. And since I'm stuttering, I will mention that, of course, in the midst of all of this and this drive to go forward and fulfill our passions and write down those intentions today, it's so much more powerful when you do it on the day of the new moon eclipse. Well, I'll just say that, it's because of retrograde, Mercury retrograde, your ruling planet, Gemini. It is kind of holding us back a little bit. So yes, it's a time, and yes, this influence is going to absolutely instigate new things, like it or not, sometimes known or unknown. Eclipses bring things in instantly, they take things out, they instigate the newness that I'm talking about. Overall, the energy is incredibly positive with Gemini, and it's sociable, it's mercurial, it's mind, movement and expansion and ideas and teaching and information and connection and commerce and all those wonderful things that keep our lives moving and active and social and fun. But with the retrograde, there's going to be some stops and starts along the way. There's going to be communication issues, maybe speaking or communicating on some level. Maybe what you're writing isn't coming out, or people aren't understanding you like they normally will. You have to repeat yourself 2 or 3 times or slow down your speech for YouTube channels, which is fine. It's just when I'm talking about Gemini, it always speeds up. I've always found that to be true. But overall, you don't have to rush out today during this new moon eclipse and think, oh, got to do it, it'll be too late. No way, Ray. This is a time when you have all of those feelings and they're bubbling up, and they have been, especially since the full moon, 2 weeks ago, which, all the eclipses run in pairs. So this Sagittarius Gemini series that we're having now started last summer in 2020 and will continue on till the end of the year, and then it goes into 2 different, and even 3 next year, eclipses with different polar opposites, which is exactly what Gemini and Sagittarius are. And these are the people and the circumstances and the activities in life that I see happening time and time again. The polar opposites a lot of times are very, very connected because they have that opposition, which is very attractive, and it kind of pulls each other towards each other for reasons understood and maybe even not understand, the mysteries of life, right? But I've known from the studies and the readings I do, so many air and fire signs, and particularly Gemini and Sagittarius, to me, they're one of the most incredibly connected and harmonious polarities that I have seen with all of the polarities in the zodiac, because each one of us have that, right? So Sagittarius, truth-seeking. Truth is revealed. Truth is coming through for all of us. In the next 2 months or more, we're going to be finding out things that we were unclear about, to say the least, and that's going to come forth. And, you know, just a little bit more about astrology, I'll let you know that, you know, Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces, and that's all about love and compassion and, you know, vulnerability, about releasing, about letting go, and about healing. And that enters into letting go of something that you've done. You no longer want to be attached to a person, a circumstance, and opening up to the new, imagining anything you could possibly imagine, which brings forth the actual reality. This is the whole thing about the consciousness of this universe, is that when you think, and enough people think a certain way, or want to bring the light, or want to bring that happiness, or that joy, or that love, it's going to multiply, and it continues to. So I guess basically raising the consciousness, which is happening anyway, but can be furthered and quickened, because the energies are so much faster now, by just thinking that way and feeling that way, and just meditating on that, and allowing that conscious and that energy to be the part of the forefront of your everyday life and existence. And that's important to you, Sagittarius. It always has been. You know, you point those arrows, and you point them high, and you recognize that this is something that needs to be expressed, and spoken about, and it's your truth, and it can be the truth of all of us, but not in a way that's dogma, or, you know, my way is the only way. No, that's not what it's about. Quite the opposite. Accepting the diversity and the differences in all of us, and accepting the truths that don't feel comfortable. You know, I mean, straight up, there's a lot of them that I have come to understand this last year, and it totally changed my perspective. And I think a lot of that's happening. But let's keep it on that positive note, because that's what this energy is about. And I hope you feel it right now. I really, really do. But I'm now going to go on to see who your highlighted connection is, because I always read for the 2 sun signs. So you're the featured today, Sagittarius, excuse me. And so your highlighted connection today for June 10th, a beautiful new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, is going to be, I have Virgo for you. Now, I did read, let me double check if I read Virgo yesterday, and I don't think I did. Yesterday was Libra, and let me double check here. Forgive me 1 second. I write everything down. Libra and Capricorn. So Virgo was the day before. So it was Virgo as the featured. Aquarius was the highlighted. So we're going to go with it. This is beautiful. This is rooting down kind of energy. But the Virgo is an earth element, okay? The practical, the grounded, the sensible, the reliable, and very authentically comes from a heart place that's very authentic. But also, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So it's a mind situation. You love talking and just, you know, philosophically, you know, just really triggering ideas and thoughts and possibilities. This is what really, really makes you thrive, Sagittarius. And you're going to get that with the Virgo. And they're going to go be very diligent about their studies, and they're going to really work harder to understand and to be open to a lot of the things, which, by the way, a lot of earth elements tend to be kind of stuck. A lot of fixed energy is associated with ground and earth, and, you know, the sturdiness of it, after all, you know, ground under our feet and stability and such, we can only hope. However, you know, Virgo is, like you, a mutable sign, which means they are very capable of change in the midst of unexpected circumstances like this past year. They think ahead. They add that to part of their understanding and knowledge and wisdom that anything can happen. We really don't know, you know, and it can completely be out of our control. So how we react to it and how we respond, how we feel about it, that's definitely all on us. However, yeah, there's this just real genuine interest in really actually being ahead of the game. And I would say this workaholic aspect of Virgos is a common denominator, because there's a perfectionism, which of course isn't real, it doesn't exist, but more so with themselves. And to kind of loosen that up now with the beautiful Jupiter in Pisces energy to heal those things, to heal the parts of us that are just a little too hard on ourselves, or, you know, maybe not accepting of ourselves when we're perfect exactly as we are. Those energies are coming in with these eclipses to make the changes, to open our eyes to things that we know aren't working anymore, to further ourselves in ways that we feel extremely comfortable and excited to do so. So this is a beautiful combination, and while you're out gallivanting a lot of times and traveling and everything, a Virgo's fine being at home and taking care of things at home and, you know, keeping things in order. Not that they don't want to be with you, they do, but they're okay, and they appreciate your freedom and your need for independence and things. There's a trust there. There's a definite feel with any earth sign of permanence, where they're not going anywhere. You know, they're here for the long stay because they believe in working through any difficulties, which only makes things stronger a lot of times. And of course, there's always exceptions. You know, I understand that. But that's the highlighted connection for today. So you may very well know about this Virgo, or it may be somebody that this retrograde is bringing back into your life. And by the way, we have 2 more retrogrades at the end of the month. So we're entering that time of year when the outer planets, the slower moving but important and influential, all start to go into retrograde for 4 or 5 months. And we already have 3 of the big ones in retrograde, being Pluto, Saturn, and what is the other? Well, no, Neptune and what am I trying to say? Neptune and Jupiter going retrograde at the end of the month. So yeah, all of them are going to start doing that. It's just that time. It's very, let's go forward, but let's be introspective about it. Let's really, really go with our guts as to what we believe is going to be the best move for us. You know, it's about us more than the outside world, but of course it's all kind of intertwined as well. So you'll see things in the outer stage of life, and then you'll definitely be having some personal things that happen for just you and your circumstances. So I do like to read the 3 major categories for this beautiful highlighted connection, and it usually covers all answers. And if it's not a person you know of, once again, Sagittarius, the Virgo, which I'd be surprised about, because this is a very common compatible connection I see through my history of doing readings and working with my clients. But it could definitely be the time of Virgo season, which is later part of August into September. And yeah, things, whatever you're pursuing or thinking about and making that change and starting that beginning and, you know, leveling up yourself and just, once again, being that adventurous, wonderful spirit that you are, knowing that you can make anything happen you want. You're doing the due diligence now. You're kind of really double checking everything during the retrogrades. You don't need to go fast forward just yet. And the momentum will continue on with these eclipses, like I said, for 6 months or longer in your favor. So that's a beautiful thing. Whatever you do start, though, could very well really start to show its fruits, or, you know, its harvest as around the time that it does become almost autumn, you know, the Virgo season, just before Libra, which is the beginning and initiates the season of autumn. So let's see now. The first overall category is that of just that, your overall energy, what's happening to this point, okay? And we're reading for, like I said, the first half of the month, June, today being the 10th. And then I come back and I read for the second half of the month. So every single zodiac sign gets at least one reading. And sometimes, because of the highlighted connections included, there can be more than 1 or 2 of those highlighted connections during any one month. You know, it just depends on what Spirit wants to share with you. So overall energy for the 2 beautiful Sagittarius and Virgo. And you have the 3 of Cups. And that is just this beautiful, beautiful celebratory kind of energy. It's heart-centered, it's emotions, it's happiness, it's parties and gatherings, it's vacations, staycays, you know, further vacations, planning vacations. It is the heart center, it is the water signs. It's Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, you know. And here we have that beautiful Pisces, Jupiter and Pisces. Both you and Pisces had Jupiter as a ruling planet. More historically, they're saying about Pisces, but I always will attribute it and believe that is still a very prominent part of the makings and the general energy of Pisceans. And now more modernly, it is the planet of Neptune that rules Pisces as well. So there's this fantasy kind of obscure, not necessarily clear and you know, sometimes foggy when it comes to Neptune. So be aware of that if you're feeling that way, which, by the way, I woke up feeling that way. I woke up feeling like, did I get enough sleep? And I got plenty of sleep. It's the energy. So if you're feeling that way, let me know. I'm absolutely with you. And it's all, the energies are heavy and they're very, very potent. So it's going to affect all of us differently. But if you have water in your chart, that might be a good reason for it, because, you know, that Neptune can kind of make things a little more cloudy and not really like questioning, well, is this the way it's supposed to be? Am I really getting this right? Coupled with the retrograde. So be calm and be patient and kind with yourself if you're feeling that way. And just have fun, basically. This is about getting out and having fun and celebrating. You know, there's a third party sometimes involved. Maybe somebody's coming back from your past. And that happens in retrogrades too. Overall, it's a beautiful feeling though. It could be including something more important, a second job, maybe a child, to add to the mix of this happy unit and, you know, union, and just that time to explore your happiness in your heart centers. You know, that's what Pisces is about. Pure, unadulterated love. That's a beautiful beginning for your reading. And then we go to the second category, which is the possible blessings or obstacles. And so what do we have for you as the story unfolds? We have the Six of Swords. How beautiful. This is a blessing because the Six of Swords is an air element, first of all. So, you know, air is the season we're in. It's the Gemini. It's the Gemini retrograde right now. It's the Gemini new moon eclipse. And it's about our mind. It's about thinking sometimes far too much. It's about expanding our mind and wanting to do studies. Perhaps you're interested in this new beginning, being a new learning curve you want to do, you know, a new interest in educating yourself in whatever way that may be. I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are. I still have thoughts in my mind about, boy, I'd like to do that. And I don't know, I get a little crazy that way but hey, if you want to do something, this is the time to do it and not second guess or think, but I'm way too old or I'm not old enough. That's not even part of the equation. When it comes to the heart-centered Piscean Jupiter, where it expands your thoughts and your dreams and your ideas and your creativity, there is no logical, you know, there's no logical part to it. It's really about our feelings and our senses and our intuition that guide us there. And they do a really good job. They have all these years since mankind has been around. So stick with that and always know it will not lead you astray. So you are now in a place where you're moving away from difficulties. You're moving away from the hardships. My gosh, aren't we all? And you're letting your mind take you to places that make you feel way more at peace, more balanced. You know, the air signs are the Libras, the Aquarius, and the Geminis. And just really usually there's a guide, and it's just this one person in this depiction, but there's always a guide there for us. There's always answers. There's always ways we can speak to our higher power, friends, associates. There's always help and co-creation happening. So just know that, you know, you're never alone really. And it's time to move on to smoother shores. And you know this, you know, you want to calm the mind. You want to go and lay out at a beach and be near water and let go of some of the struggles that a lot of us still are contending with, you know. If nothing else, this new moon will help you to get out of that mindset and to open your mind and see things are improving every single day. And that's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And it is a time to party. And it is, it's party time. Let's just put it that way. So just be safe and enjoy. Have fun. Be happy. Hold on to that childlike part of you, you know, your inner child, which sometimes myself, I get a little too serious, you know, and I think, oh my gosh, I'd much rather just be laughing and just having a good time. Everything works themselves out. So the final category is that of finances, and yes, it is money. It's an energy. It's the things that make us feel in the material world, you know, that more stable and more secure, whether it's an illusion or not. It's really necessary, right? And wealth is also about, you know, our well-being, our everyday to day life, our romance, our just the people we love in general, all our connections, our friends and family and so forth. It's an essential part of our being. And I think a lot of us recognize that when it was taken away the past year. It just really feels so good for me to be able to reconnect with people again. And my heart is just full at this point. So financially, you have judgment. Ooh, I love judgment. You know, judgment is similar in a way to justice, but not really. Justice is served. You know, maybe you're doing something and at one point you didn't feel like it was fair and everything, and now it is. But this is something more deeper to me. I've always believed that this is a major arcana. This is a decision that's been made perhaps from other lifetimes, like it's a karmic choice and it's for your highest good. And it's like you rise above and you just keep moving up and out. And that's exactly what is happening for all of us after everything that we've gone through. It's just, we're healing, we're licking our wounds, as it were, and we're just believing, okay, one day at a time, one step at a time, and then this momentous, beautiful energy of newness and truth and, you know, just expansion that's happening in everyone's lives right now with these eclipses and the knowledge and the information that comes through for that. It's so beautiful. It's like you just want to say, I'm here again. I'm back. You know, you're tooting your horn. You will be noticed, I think, in a lot of ways that will be very, very beneficial for you somehow or another. You may be very, notoriety will come to you, you know, expressions of appreciation for what you do, what you have done. Don't be surprised if there's a lot of tears of happiness and joy just because of the emotional aspect that's caused all of us to feel that way, and the gratitude to be able to be with the people we love. I love that so much. So when it comes to money or some type of the energy of wealth in any category of your life, yeah, it's coming, and it's going to be stronger than it probably has been in a long time, and you're going to be empowered to believe that. You're going to be very instrumental in that happening. It doesn't mean that it's just going to go boop, pop down, but it could. It could be some beautiful, miraculous things happening. Miracles happen every moment. I feel like this is definitely something you've been working through, whether physically or internally, for some time, and it's coming through, and it's a beautiful, beautiful energy. So just know that you will be taken care of. Stability will be coming, and there's always new information if you care to listen to it. I'm very, very selective in how much news I listen to, but yeah, there's still help on the way for a lot of people. Believe that and keep that optimistic system going, and you'll be amazed, boy, what comes your way. I see this as a very positive, beautiful reading and time for you. And this new moon can do some amazing, amazing things. And I'm not shy. I mean, please let me know if you have not subscribed or, you know, liked or anything and you're feeling so inclined. I would absolutely love it. Subscribing is more like following. You're not entitled to pay anything or anything like that. You're not going to get a bunch of emails, but it's very supportive, and YouTube really likes it. They help me out when they see more people liking, and they're willing to let me do more content and things of that nature. So I really appreciate it. But you can also comment, and I will respond very quickly, because that's what I love to do. I love the interaction. I love to be around like-minded people, basically. That's why I do these channels. I'm going to finish this reading for the highlighted connection with a beautiful rune. I like to call it a cherry on the sundae. This kind of culminates the reading and brings in that last little bit of information that I always find to be extremely, extremely potent and wisdom-filled. And this has come up like 3 times, and I've shaken that bag a few times. But I'm going to bring it out again. I placed it on the second category, which is the possible blessings or obstacles, and you've got that 6 of Swords, meaning you're moving away from obstacles and rough water onto smoother sailing. And by the way, there's that full moon, so it could really have started to really lessen in your harmonious and easier times may have very well started from the Sagittarius full moon leading to this new moon, which is absolutely beautiful. So I'll read you what this moon represents, the words associated with it, the actual name of it. Because I haven't memorized them yet, and that'll take some time, but I look forward to being much more of a master in regards to the runes. So this is it looks like a prawn. It looks like a 3-pronged fork. And I'm going to set it just like that and read to you. I almost felt like I did it yesterday, but I believe I did. Okay, well for you, beautiful Sagittarius and Virgo highlights, it's algiz, and that's A-L-G-I-Z. And 1 + 5 = 6. So this is the balance. This is the house that represents your daily work habits and life habits and, fundamental things you need to do, and making sure that you feel they're not out of whack, and that, you have enough time for all things, and you work at that, and it feels a lot easier now. You're not overwhelmed in any one area, and that's a beautiful thing. That takes some time and effort to do that. So inside it says, the period is between January 28th and February 11th. So we're talking Aquarius time, and there's the air sign again. There's what was started the year with Jupiter and Saturn, both in Aquarius. Complete opposite energies, right? Jupiter being the benevolent, expansion of things and freedom and love and luck and being at the right place at the right time and opportunities, just nonstop, and just flowing for you. Just a beautiful thing to have happen, which happens every 12 years in each of our signs. So it's a very special year. And then Saturn is the constrictor, the taskmaster, keeping us on track and not letting us go too crazy, or, just that sense of confinement, if you will. Completely opposite, right? This is happening all year, but Jupiter did go into Pisces on the 13th of May and will remain there through July 28th, and then back into Aquarius until Pisces. It goes back into Pisces next year for most of the year. That's about our mind. That is about innovative ideas, and working with the masses and wanting to educate ourselves, and technology is huge. That's what the ruling planet of Aquarius is, Uranus. And Uranus is all about medicine and technology and furthering it for all of us to benefit from and expand our mind and our intellects and our ways of becoming more independent and, entrepreneurials in a lot of ways. YouTube channels, vlogs, whatever they call pods, logs, vlogs. It's pretty perfect, really. And so the words associated with this, though, are resistance, help, shield, impulse, recovery, a real impediment that can be overcome. I love hearing that. Protection is granted. So there you go. And it's so perfect. Like I said, it always amazes me how these runes work exactly in synchronistic form with my readings, because the protection and the, impediment and removal of any, what did it say exactly? Just overcoming, protection granted. This is moving out of difficult times, and the guides that I told you are usually representative of this card, helping you at all times, guarding and protecting and supporting you. So that's a beautiful thing, and I hope that makes you feel better, because this reading is all about that. And it's just going to grow, okay? If you're not feeling it this moment, give it some time. So yeah, I love that for you. I'm going to finish with your 2 beautiful oracle messages. The first is the Tarot, Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. And so your particular message, beautiful, beautiful Sagittarius, and all of your connections, is rest and reconsider. What a perfect time to get this with the retrograde season, because yes, you can be thinking, and yes, you can be fine-tuning and revisiting and, reconsidering and all those things, but rest, rejuvenation, retreat is so imperative right now. It's number 9. It's the end of a cycle before this new beautiful energy of pushing forward. And by the way, you know, Mercury goes forward on the 22nd of June. So it's not that much longer, but I absolutely love that. And it's seldom that you work really hard and you're very active generally. You know, you like movement, you like exercise, you like keeping yourself in good form because your energy is pretty profound. And so you like to go to nature and places that help to bring in this rest and recuperation. And I feel like you're doing that. I feel like it's a perfect time. I think you're very much in sync with that. So I'm going to leave it with that explanation because it's absolutely perfect. And then I'm going to finish with the beautiful last OG deck of mine, Super Attractor Manifestation deck. And this is about creating the life you want through feeling it into existence. It's done all the time. We are absolutely manifestors in this earth 3-dimensional world, and we can do it by default, or we can do it the way we want to, by believing and thinking and reviewing the same beautiful thoughts over and over and over. And so these are like affirmations or mantras to do that very thing. And your special card for today, Sagittarius, is red and vibrant like you, and it says, True manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. And that's exactly what you're about. How can I teach and learn and share this knowledge and be fair and help people to think in the highest ways for the highest good of everybody? That's who you are. You're this incredibly optimistic sign that people are very drawn to, and you have the fire ambition in you, and you keep people highly spirited and motivated, and I love you for that. I have so many Sagittarius friends that I still have, and I just appreciate them, you know, because I need that kind of motivation. I know that for myself. I love being around it, birds of a feather sort of thing. So that's your reading, and I just wish you the best, and I hope that this means something very personal and profound to you, and that wonderful things come about from this new moon and solar eclipse, and, you know, the full moon as well in your sign. But come on back for your mid-month reading too, because it'll further the storyline. So enjoy in the meantime. Take it easy. Embrace your love. And in the next reading, till then, bye for now.